today we're going to unbox and take a look at That Others May Live. This is a solitaire game designed by Brad Smith, and it's about combat search and rescue in Vietnam. This is published by Hollandspiele, and I picked this up during the Hollandspiele holiday sale. That is a mouthful. Let's take a look at the back of the box here. An airman has been shot down. The enemy searches for him. Their trap waits for you. The long-awaited second game from designer Brad Smith of NATO Air Commander sees you conducting combat search and rescue missions during the Vietnam War. With limited resources, a ticking clock, and uncertain intel, you must make the impossible decision and defy the odds to save one life at a time in this challenging solitaire game. There's a map sheet, a player aid, 88 counters, rulebook, and 90 cards. So let's get into this and see what is all about. I'm not as familiar with NATO Air Command, but heard good things about it. But this one looked very interesting to me. It's sourced by Blue Panther, so it's going to have the typical Blue Panther box and cards and counters and quality that you get with Blue Panther. So we've got 2 decks of cards here at least. One is called the Resolution deck, and one is called the Action deck. Let's get the rules out here, see what they have for us. We have some imagery there. The rules look like they are 17 pages. So we have some credits here on the back. Designer Brad Smith, a developer Ryan Heilman. I know Ryan, worked with him on the CSARs. Good fellow there, so it'll be interesting. I'll give him some comments on what I think of his development. Some more imagery here. So really the rules look like they are 15 pages, but we have some charts. So let's see what the rules actually look like as far as content. We have a table of contents. Here's an introduction. It's a dual column with some headings, which is nice, and then somewhat of a case system, but not as many sub chapters. I mean, there's a lot of paragraphs, just unreferenced paragraphs underneath some of these. It's got your introduction, components. Still talking about the resolution cards. Here's the markers. Here is, let's see, what is this? Is the units. Take a look at that. So, full color in that regard. Basic turn sequence here. Let's take a look at that real quick here. So we have the event phase, that for turn 1, card phase, combat phase, and turn phase. And then they'll break it down into a detailed sequence of play here. Another thing that caught my eye on this one is just that it's a topic that I don't know if there's any other games on that, or if there are, they're few and far in between. So these are all the detailed turn, and then you've got end of game, and then optional rules. So there's some optional rules here. Then we have some scenarios. Caged Tiger is a standard game scenario. Then we have some historical scenarios here. So I guess this is just set up for any kind of play or just straight out of the box. And then you got a historical scenario 1. Then you have historical scenario 2. Historical scenario 3. And this is going to tell you the setup, your aircraft, draw cups, a map, tracks, player hands, action deck, and any special rules. Historical scenario 4. So you got 4 scenarios plus just standard play, and then you have this mini campaign here. Interesting. So quite a bit of different gameplay here. So if you don't go into the explanation side, then the rules are only 15 pages, and that's with scenarios and optional rules. Then here's an explanation of the different markers. This is going to be drawing out of a cup, so you're going to be, that's your AI, and then we've seen this before. So very nice. Let's take a look at the cards while we have them right here on top. And your typical, Blue Panther cards, good, sturdy, not too thick, not too thin. It's an event deck. This is a resolution deck. Let's take a look at the action deck here. Then we've got some pilots and PJs decks here. So let's take a look at that first. So these are some different pilots here. Interesting. Then we have an event deck here. Okay. Like the imagery. Let's take a look at action deck. There's some symbols on here, or icons, but the text is relatively good sized text, clear, and plus you have an image on there as well. Then we have the resolution deck. This is all icons. Cool. All right. Here are the counters. Double-sided, typical Blue Panther thickness there. Okay. Then we have the board, so to speak. This is this right here might be the player aid, but it looks like something. It's single-sided. It looks like something you'll put stuff out to mark. You got marker adjustment, enemy gunfire segment, ordnance, and zone marker. So kind of a player aid plus a table of sorts to keep track of to keep track of things. And it's thicker paper. It's good quality. Then we got the map or the board, which is on thick Blue Panther paper. So we have right here, we have interesting. So we have zones. We have a north, east, south, and west, and then a center zone. And I imagine this is where you're going to be keeping some of those markers. Then we have USAF pararescue, that others may live, right there. We have some reserve boxes here, and then we have a track here that goes from 0 to 10. And then some more holding boxes up here. And then this place is for some cards along here. So interesting. I have not seen a lot on this. So I don't think I'll be the first. I think other people will have stuff out there, so I'll have to take a look at that. I always try to look at, an unboxing or a gameplay, if there's any out there, just to get a feel for how the game plays. So, maybe, hopefully I'm not the first. I mean, I'll do an unboxing. This is my unboxing, and then I'll eventually do I'll do an after action, some gameplay. And with these games, I might actually do a in-game. I don't do that as often, but I might try that because this looks interesting. If it's not too, solitaire games, you can kind of do that. But as long as it's not too tedious for you all, right? So here's all the cards here. I like to put a card out so you can see what the back looks like. This is what you get in the box. Looks interesting. I mean, to me, the topic sold it for me because this is something that you don't see every day. And so it's something I wanted to, get a peek at. But there you have it. That is what you get in a box of That Others May Live. Looks very interesting. It's solitaire. It's Vietnam, but it's an aspect of Vietnam we don't you don't see simulated or gamed or even talked about a whole lot. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you've played this, please give me your thoughts on this and let me know what you think. Or you can talk about uh, Brad Smith's other game, or you can talk about Hollandspiele, or you can talk about anything you want. Just keep it civil. Anyway, thanks all, and take care. Thanks for watching.